The attorneys are making their final arguments to the jury hearing the case involving a murdered 2-year-old child. Bradley Young is charged with killing 2-year-old Kinsley Kinner.
The toddler was brutally beaten. Local 12's Larry Davis has been in the courtroom throughout this trial, and he joins us now live from Hamilton with what the attorneys had to say. Larry?
Hi, Cammie. Well, the jury will soon decide the guilt or innocence of Bradley Young. Before they go behind closed doors, though, the attorneys for both sides are continuing to make their final arguments in this case. Bradley Young's attorneys opted not to put their client on the stand as testimony wound down today on the start of week 2 of his Butler County murder trial. Young is charged with murder and the death of his girlfriend's 2-year-old daughter, Kinsley Kinner. In closing arguments today, prosecutor Mike Moser told jurors evidence that they were given put Young on the couch at the time Kinsley suffered her injuries back in December, and he was holding that child when she went limp. Defense attorney Frank Schiavone III said no one testified they saw Bradley Young ever hit the child, and he even suggested discipline by her mother, Rebekeh Kinner, may have gone a bit too far. Here are just some of the arguments today the jurors will soon be considering.
Why does he key in on the couch? Because he now knows that the couch is where that kid went limp, and he's the one that did it.
That baby started crying again, and she tried her shake method. Kinsley, stop it. Kinsley! 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 That's what caused her head injury. That's why it's all internal. That's why there's not a cut on that child's head. That's why there's not punch marks from a man hitting that child.
Cammie, the defense suggesting that maybe it was somebody else who may have inflicted those injuries on Kinsley Kinner. Now, earlier today, the defense made 2 motions, one to dismiss, one to acquit, but the judge overruled both of those motions. Now, the prosecution is getting another attempt to make closing arguments right now as we speak to the jury, and then we are expected to hear whether or not the judge will keep the jurors tonight to deliberate or send them home and bring them back in the morning. We'll keep you posted on that. Live in Hamilton, Larry Davis, Local 12 News. Cammie, back to you.
All right, Larry, thank you. Kinsley's mother is already serving 11 years in prison for her role in her daughter's death.